The entrance is the exit, and the exit is the entrance. Here's another video, throwing pearls to swine. We have all this situation with Boris Johnson depriving the children of food, and Marcus Rashford being the so-called saviour of the children by saying that they need cornflakes and crack Donalds. This is quite insidious. Nobody in the media is talking about, these kids are very nutrition deficient. Nobody's advocating to wipe out the whole genetically modified freakazoid menu and put organic food on the list. That's when you know the person is bought and paid for by the establishment. They're more malnourished than Oliver Twist deprived of porridge. Maybe you should teach the kids to forage in the forest. I don't give a damn about Marcus. I don't give a damn about Boris. All I really know is I will Chuck Norris. Babe, I will bring you more flowers than a florist. You see, in England, you got children living off chicken nuggets and beans on toast on a regular basis. And then Marcus Rashford is teaming up with Crack Donalds and teaming up with cornflakes. Do you think Marcus Rashford's nutritionist allows him to eat Crack Donalds and cornflakes? It's a huge problem in England. What are you going to have with your cornflakes? You're going to have milk, right? Homogenized milk. What's that going to cause? Loads of problems, but it's also going to cause a build-up of mucus. Makes you more susceptible to the flu, and even worse, COVID-19. Why would you go around asking Boris Johnson for health advice? This is the guy that caught the Colombian flu back in April because he was partying too hard as the Prime Minister of a supposedly first world country during a pandemic. Lambs to the slaughter. You know the parasite bleeds a host of Greg's, Crack Donalds and beans on toasts. Cornflakes with homogenized milk. Why should you give a damn if it's spilt? You know the parasite bleed the host of Greg's, Crack Donalds and beans on toast. Cornflakes with homogenized milk. Why should you give a damn if it's spilt? I mean, one of the answers would be to look into nature. A lot of these kids, they haven't been educated about their environment and how, they hear all the Agenda 21, Agenda 2030, global warming, global citizen stuff, but they're not taught to be in tune with their environment. Why don't you take them on a school trip picking dandelions? There's loads of dandelions in England. Highly nutritious and very delicious. Burdock root, elderberry, nettles, very nutritious, very cleansing. This is the type of thing that school children should be having. They should be taught this from young. And, if it comes down to it on these school trips, maybe they should be taught to hunt. There's lots of wild rabbits. As far as kids handling guns in England, they're a bit iffy about that. But why not just hand them a crossbow, a bow and arrow? Kids are very absorbent and they'll get used to it. Just hunt a couple rabbits. So the waters, they've been muddied once again. They chopped down all the elderberry trees to replace them with 5G towers. The discussion needs to be brought to a more down-to-earth topic. Look at the breads. Most of the breads in British supermarkets, it contains soya. People don't look at the ingredients. Look on the back. Soya is used to flavour British breads. 90%, 95% of bread on the shelves contains soya. Nobody voted for this. Nobody was asked, do you think it's a good idea to put soya as an ingredient in most bread in Britain, where many people, live on beans on toast? Where does the toast come from? What do you toast? You toast bread. They live on beans on toast, Greggs and Crack Donalds. And Marcus Rashford thinks this is a good idea. It beggars belief. Anyway, to summarize, this story is just another silly distraction for the public to argue over and quarrel over while all their rights are stripped away, the rug gets swept under their feet. But to summarize, you've hit rock bottom. You've hit rock bottom when you got celebrated athletes pushing food that they wouldn't even feed to their dogs on children and adults alike. The entrance is the exit, and the exit is the entrance.